Yes, you saw that right. Phainon is finally out in Honkai Star Rail for you to pull and to build. And that's a very important part. So today's video, I'm going to be covering everything you need to know about Phainon. We're going to go over what your endgame stats should look like, what light cones are the best, what traces you should be focusing on, what relics you need, and then what substats on the relics, and then should you be going for more Eidolons, and what do they do if you do want to go for more. And after all of that, I'm going to show you what teams he fits best in, some premium options, some free-to-play options, and then I'm going to actually use him in battle and tell you what all of his abilities do if you don't know or you just want a better explanation so you know what you're actually doing with Phainon. With all that out the way though, let's get to it. So here we go. We have my Phainon relic guide on screen for y'all. It's basically a very simple way to just show you the best light cones, relic sets, ornament sets, and then what substats you should be aiming for on your relic pieces, and then kind of your endgame stats there at the very bottom left. If you want to just pause it and read this, you can do that. I'm going to do a little bit of explaining now, though, in the actual game. So when it comes to Phainon's best light cone, no surprise, it's his signature light cone, thus burns the dawn. This, of course, you can get from the summons area, the warp area, where you can go and pull for it. His second best light cone is on the fall of an Eon, which I'm sure you've probably seen if you've been playing this game for a while. If you haven't though, you want to go into the Divergent universe, and then you're going to open up Herta's store. Now, it's not going to be here for me because I've already purchased it, but you can purchase it here from Herta's store, which you get these tokens from playing the Divergent universe if you didn't know. And then to level it up, you need some superimposers, which you then put in. It's like getting an extra copy of the light cone, except it's a superimposer in this case. So that's how you get that one. And to be honest, I think you're going to be using that one if you don't want to pull for Phainon's light cone himself, because his best 4-star option is actually not free. You actually have to pay to get it. You're going to have to get the Nameless Glory on the Nameless Honor, the Battle Pass thing. And you can see here on level 30, they've added some new light cones, and one of the new ones is a Trail of Bygone Blood. It's actually his best 4-star light cone, but it's so much easier to get on the fall of an Eon than it is to go and get this, as you don't have to spend real money. But if you want to spend real money, you can definitely go ahead and do this. I mean, you also get all the other stuff from the Battle Pass as well. It's not like you're just doing it for the light cone. You get all the other rewards they throw in there, but yes, you will have to do that for his best 4-star option. Now into Phainon's traces. Some important things to note here when you're getting your relics and trying to get those endgame stats. You're going to get 5 speed from Phainon's traces. You're going to get 12% crit rate and then 33.3% crit damage. So make sure you're keeping that in mind when you're rolling for your relics and when I explain what substats you're going for. In terms of focusing on what to upgrade first, skill is the most important. So make sure you're leveling up the skill, and then you can work on your talent and ultimate and basic attack after that. Now on to the fun part of relics. Our main relic set that we're going to be aiming for is the Wave Strider Captain. 2-piece gives you an increase to crit damage by 16%, and the 4-piece is going to give you these stacks of help whenever you have an ally target's ability go to Phainon. So just to make this easy to understand, if you're running Phainon with Sunday and Bronya, when you have Sunday use his skill, which will then bring Phainon forward, that's giving him 1 stack of help, and then Bronya goes and uses her skill, which brings Sunday forward again, it will as well give Sunday a stack of help. Now, it's not necessarily just that you're bringing Sunday forward. If you have, let's say you used Fugwe, the, 5-star Tingyun variant. If you used her and used her ability on Phainon, that would also give you a stack of help. But I would just pick Sunday and Bronya, as you'll commonly see them in the best team for Phainon. And then when you use your ultimate with Phainon, it will consume the stacks of help and increase the wearer's attack by 48% for 1 turn. So that's why you want that, as Mr. Phainon is a ultimate merchant. As for his Planar ornament, you're going to go for the new set Arcadia of Woven Dreams. You can see the 2-piece bonus here. When you only have 1 ally on the field, because Phainon makes everyone else disappear when he ults, you're going to increase the damage dealt by the wearer and their memo sprite, in which case that doesn't really matter, just the wearer, by 9% or 12%, stacking up to 4 or 3 times, depending on, how many missing allies you have. In terms of the substats on these bad boys, oh baby. So, you're going to want to go for speed, if you need it, and then crit rate, then crit damage, and then attack percentage, or flat attack. But attack percentage before flat attack on all of these. So you can't change the main stat on your helmet or gloves. For your chest piece, you're going to want crit rate. He's going to want the crit rate unless you magically somehow get the most amazing crit rate sub rolls on your other pieces and you can afford to put a crit damage one on him. In which case, I wish I had that kind of luck. But you're probably going to go for crit rate on it. And then for boots, you have a choice between speed or attack, depending on how much speed your Phainon needs. And what I mean by depending on how much speed your Phainon needs, I'll explain that when I go talk about substats here in a moment. But you're going to want a physical damage boost on your orb as the main stat, and then attack percent as your main stat on the rope. And those are kind of your main stats and substats you're aiming for. Now, if you look on the right of your screen, we have our stats. Your endgame stats that you're going to be aiming for, you're going to want an attack of around 2,500 plus. If you get to 2,200, 2,200, then going up from there is better, but you're kind of aiming for around that 2,500, and then if you can get it higher, wonderful. Your crit rate, you're going to want to aim for 100. Now, if you're running him with Sunday, you can afford to get it around 80. I'm still working on crit rate. It hates me very deeply, but you can get it around 80 because of the bonus that Sunday gives you. But you want to try and get that crit rate to 100 for him, and then crit damage, you want it to be around 150 plus. The more you can get, the better, but try and hit at least that 150% target with Mr. Phainon. Now for what speed he needs. So that depends on who you're running him with. And I'll show you that right here. So you're going to want Phainon to be the fastest to get the most out of him. My Phainon has 146 speed because he needs more than 138 speed from Sunday, because Sunday's going to go after Phainon. So when Sunday uses his skill, Phainon can then have another turn to attack again. And then Bronya has 133 speed. Now, it doesn't matter if Sunday or Bronya are faster than each other. You can have it in whichever order you like, whichever order it comes out to be, because I know it can be difficult to hit an exact number when you're rerolling in this game. Phainon just needs to be faster than whichever one of these two is the fastest, if you're running these two. If you're running, another unit on the team, he just has to be faster than them as well. That's what I mean by speed. If your Sunday is slower, say you're running a slower team, then you can afford to not have as much speed on Phainon, because he just has to go before whoever your next up is. In my case, it would be Sunday. And so then you can put more attack and crit rate and crit damage into him, because you're not worrying about that speed substat. Assuming you get lucky on your rolls, of course. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer further in the comments, but that was kind of what I mean by depending on how much speed you need. Now, should you go for more Eidolons, or should you pull for his light cone? His light cone is more important than getting more Eidolons. I'm just going to say that. So get his light cone if you're deciding between the two. In terms of should you then go and get more Eidolons, the first one, it's all right. It's a buff. It helps him get better, but it's really, you're just getting it because you need to get it before you get to E2. E2 is what really makes Phainon just otherworldly here. You can see the important part on your screen is he's going to gain an extra turn after, in his ultimate state, when he uses Foundation, Star Death Verdict, and consumes 4 Scourge points. He's going to get an extra turn, which means he gets to go again, which means big time more damage. The E2 is what's going to make a big difference. So if you want to go for more copies, go for E2. Anything beyond it is just kind of like, okay, we're having some more icing on the cake. We're gaining 4 more stacks of Soul Scorch there. I'm going to use Calamity Soul Scorch Edict. And then here, the number of points allowed for Core Flame no longer has an upper limit. So you can just gain a ton of extra Core Flame here, which I'll explain Core Flame when I'm talking about him in battle and why it's important. But honestly, unless you're a whale, you're probably not thinking about anything above E2. Because that's probably, unless you're getting really lucky, you're probably dropping big money there. And so if you want to go for more, get him to E2. Anything extra, you're just a big fan of Phainon and you really love him. Now for teams. The premier team at the time of Phainon's release may change, of course, pending new characters we get in upcoming patches. But it'll be Phainon with Sunday, Bronya, and then Tribbie. Or if you don't have Tribbie but you have Cypher, you can put Cypher in. She's a fantastic replacement if you're lacking Tribbie. Now, to sum up basically what you're doing here, Phainon attacks, ba-boom. Sunday uses skill, Phainon attacks again, ba-boom. Bronya uses skill, Phainon attacks again, ba-boom. Phainon ults, Phainon destroys. Tribbie is there for, sub DPS. You can use her ultimate at the start of battle if you have her light cone. Use her ultimate whenever you get the chance to use it. And she does some nice sub DPSing work and does her thing. But that's kind of the main thing is Sunday makes Phainon go again, and Bronya also makes Phainon go again, so Phainon can deal damage and be a destruction type unit. Another option, if you're looking for a sustain character, is you're going to replace Tribbie with Hua. It'll be Phainon with Sunday, Bronya, and Hua instead. Then free-to-play option replacement would be to run Tingyun, and Tingyun will also then put her buff towards Phainon to help Phainon do more big bad things. And if you're looking for the free-to-play option, it's going to look like this. It's Phainon, Bronya, Tingyun, and then the MC. Or if you're looking for a sustain, again, instead of a amplifier, you can go ahead and put Gallagher as your sustain instead of the Harmony MC. But likely more, even though he's a 4-star, likely more people are probably going to have the Harmony MC, as they're just completely free and you don't have to pull or anything like that. I guess you can pick your 4 stars from events if you've been playing long enough. But the Harmony MC will be even more free-to-play friendly than Gallagher, but if you're looking for a sustain option, you can run Gallagher in there instead of the MC. Alrighty, so I'm going to be using Phainon here in MOC 12 against our big bad Borson Warlord man. And one thing I will note before we get into it, don't worry about Tribbie's numbers. My Tribbie isn't built. She's just here along for the ride. She's not really going to be contributing much. But for Phainon here, his skill... But for Phainon here, when you use his little skill outside of battle, you're going to see you create a black hole. And it's going to destroy enemies same way Acheron's does. Against the boss, it doesn't really matter because you have to fight the boss. You can't destroy the boss to avoid the battle. But I'll show a little clip of that, of him destroying some little enemies. With that, though, let's use everyone's abilities, and then let's get into Phainon being Phainon, using his black hole. Gonna fire Tribbie's ult right out the gate. Ba-boom! I'm also gonna use Sundays and apply it. You could wait to use Sundays, but I'm just gonna use it anyway. My Sunday can recharge his ultimate pretty quickly. And you're going to see we're gaining stacks here on Phainon's ultimate. It's just like Acheron's. You can gain 3 extra stacks after you get the ult. And if you get that E6, like I mentioned, you'll be able to get infinite stacks. So you can just keep going forever if that's something you're into. But as you can see here, our main goal is really just to hit Phainon over and over and over and over. Everyone is very close to death here. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm just going to launch Phainon's ultimate finally. And you're going to notice Phainon looks sick as hell, and the rest of my team is gone. Now, you can see we have a lot going on here. Phainon has a lot of abilities on the right side of your screen. The square is like your basic attack. You can see it hits 2 adjacent targets and the main target. You have the enhance ability, which if you use it, the enemy will then get to go, but you'll deliver an enhanced attack after they go. Or you can use your bounce attack when you have more than 4 sun stacks. You can use it when you have less, but I would recommend, you can see just above the bounce there. When I light up, it starts glowing right there on the top left of the icon. So you want to use your bounce when you have more than 4 or more stacks, I should say. So we'll send that on them. And you're going to see also, Phainon just recovered his own HP. Phainon will heal himself by dealing damage. Now, what if you don't have the 4 stacks? Well, you can either just attack normally, or I'm going to do an enhanced attack here. They're going to attack me. You can see there when they attacked me more, I gained more stacks underneath a little Phainon there. And now we have 4 stacks again to let Phainon rain down the heavens upon his enemies. And once again, we'll enhance. Again, watch underneath him there. You can see every time he gets hit. Or actually, every time they do anything, the number goes up. And then when he attacks, it goes away, and Phainon heals. You can also notice on Phainon that there are turns counting down. And then in the action bar, there is a crazy red thing at the end. That's Phainon's final attack when he ends his ultimate state. And it's basically, you'll see, it's a sick animation, but that's when your ultimate ends. I'm going to do another enhance here. Now we're going to send down the heavens upon them. And with this, I'm just going to use my basic attack so you can see what it looks like and because it gets the job done. Now, Phainon is going to, yeah. And Tribbie's about to die. This is the problem with my Tribbie having like 3 HP. She's prone to death. I'm going to use just a normal attack with him there so I can bring him forward again. My bronya is, I believe it's E. I think my bronya is E3. And the E2 is when you can start earning back an extra skill point, or there's a chance to earn a skill point back after you use one. So something to keep in mind. And then just for Tribbie's health and well-being, I'm going to ult. Could have waited there, but for her health and well-being, I'm going to ult for baby Gur. He's an enhance. Ow. Ow. And then that's really it. After that, you know, after what I've explained, you know, it's just fun and games. But that's basically what you're doing with Phainon in this team. And really your main goal of Phainon at all, in any team, whether you're replacing, you know, Sunday or bronya or Tribbie or whoever, you're just focused on getting Sunday to his ultimate state here and using those abilities, making him do the most kablamo that you can do. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. There will be more Wuthering Waves content, as well as, I just said Wuthering Waves content. There will be more Star Rail content, as well as Wuthering Waves content, and a little bit of Dragon Ball Legends content. So if any of that interests you, make sure you subscribe. Check out the live streams. I summoned live for Phainon yesterday. The summon video I will try and get up tomorrow. But yeah, I hope this helps you build your Phainon best way possible. I hope you understand what he does a little better here. And I tried not to make it like super piece-by-piece breakdown, because I feel like you get the gist of what he's doing from this. You get the basic understanding. If you want to read into it super detailed, you can do that. You got eyes, you can read, and I believe in all of you. But yeah, enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Stay happy and healthy out there, and good luck pulling for Phainon if you haven't got him yet.